Do you know of any comics showing what a kick-butt man's man George Washington truly was? I can only think of one. And that would be issue 29 of Two-Fisted Tales, one of the two EC War comics published in the 50s. They did a terrific story, Harvey Kurtzman writing, John Severin penciling, Bill Elder inks, or Will Elder inks. And it's simply called Washington with an exclamation point. And it shows Washington in action with frontline troops. And what a tenacious guy he was, just a never back down kind of guy. And they show him as a real dude. He's not wearing the wig. We get to see his red hair. We even get to see his bad complexion because he had survived smallpox. Kurtzman was really into the accurate warts and all portrayal of war, and he did a lot of military leaders, Napoleon, Julius Caesar, George Custer, guys like that. And they would do these like little mini bios or little vignettes with those characters in them. And what Kurtzman and Severin and Elder portray here is Washington's what created the man who held the Continental Army together by sheer force of will. If you've ever read about the Revolutionary War, you realize what a freaking genius George Washington was. Military genius, as well as just a badass guy. And in this story, which was true, based on true events, Washington got to hold the line by basically riding amongst his troops, smacking at them with the flat of his sword and cursing them out and calling them cowards and making them stand. Because the Continental Army, the soldiers themselves, brave men, obviously, they left their farms to fight for an idea we still benefit from here in the United States to this day. But they were, after all, farmers for the most part. And they could hunt, they could fire a musket, they could fire a rifle. But when the bayonets got fixed on the British side, our army tended to fold. They tended to run away because they weren't soldiers. And the bayonet was the most feared weapon on the battlefield because that's, and it got to the point where to keep the Continental Army ranks filled, they made contracts with these soldiers, these volunteer soldiers, that they only had to fire 2 shots in anger and they could go back to the farm. Just stay with us for 2 shots. Hopefully take out 2 British soldiers. Then you can go back to the farm. And the fact that we're a country at all, that we ever freed ourselves from the British, is, largely because of the efforts of George Washington. He really was a true American hero. He really, truly was the father of our country. He was there risking his own life for these ideas that we hold sacred today. So that's the only one I can think of. Somebody should do another more extensive comic book about Washington's career, because he really was an incredible guy. And we're very lucky that he was among the founding fathers. Or, we'd all be sipping tea at 2 in the afternoon here, eating crumpets.